श्री गुरु बरन उरघु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरन उरघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानकी सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंजित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अजर जनाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम देते थे राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी
जगद्गुरुम्
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna to all. I pay my humble obeisance to
Jai Shri
Swami
Krishna.
Pujya Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj. Swami Vivekanand once said, "The knowledge of Atma is the highest."
Naisha ji, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna to all. I pay my humble obeisance to Swami Pujya Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj. Swami Vivekanand once said, "The knowledge of Atma is the highest aim of Geeta." So, with these words in mind, on behalf of Geeta Parivar, I, Naisha Chawda from Bangalore, would like to welcome all the Krishna devotees and Geeta lovers to this yet another beautiful and meaningful interpretation session of the first part of the 13th chapter by respectable Shraddha Didi. In our Sanatan culture, no auspicious work is started without prayer. And so, without any further delay, Malabika Didi from Bhuvaneshwar will start with the prayer. An AP in a bank who is connected with Geeta Parivar since 2021, Didi has also served as a tech assistant in our Geeta Parivar. Malabika Didi.
सभी को सादर जय श्री कृष्ण। वसुदेव वसुतन्देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णो वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ श्री कृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। सभी को
Thank you, Didi. In the darkest of times, a deep can bring hope, guidance, and a path to Lord Krishna. Let us now witness the lighting of a deep by a retired corporate executive now into organic farming from Sambalpur, Odisha. Ashok Kumarji is a student of L3, serving as a GC in 3 batches since September 2023 when he joined this Geeta Parivar.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः।
Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for the divine darshan. Moving on now to the heart of today's session, the meaningful and inspiring Arthvivechan session that our dear Shraddha Didi will now do. Shraddha Didi is a resident of Hyderabad and has worked as a mobile application developer and team lead for over 13 years. She is associated with OGC or Online Geeta Classes, Geeta Parivar, since August 2020 directly as a trainer, and she is currently taking Bhopal jail class where sadhaks have cleared the Jignasu exam. Didi is a disciple of Swamiji Govindev Giriji Maharaj and also gives seva as a trainer, examiner, Vivechak as we have her here today, and is also heading the class monitoring team. Jai Shri Krishna Didi, all yours to you. Please go ahead with the Vivechak.
Jai Shri Krishna, Aisha ji. Very warm welcome to the session, all of you. Let's begin by remembering Swamiji and Shri Krishna himself. Hari Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Haraye Paramatmane, Pranatah Kleshanashaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad-Gīte Bhavatveshini. Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Hari Om. Again, a very warm welcome to the session, all of you. Heartiest congratulations to all of you for reaching so far in learning Bhagavad Gita. We are at one of the most complicated, one of the deepest chapters of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. And coming this far, being chosen by Shri Krishna to learn these topics, get an exposure to this divinity, in itself a huge blessing. So, heartiest congratulations to all, and let's begin with our journey in this very beautiful yet very deep chapter. I firmly believe I don't have the capacity to explain this chapter or explain it in totality. However, I have full faith on Swamiji and all my gurus, the Varishta people of Geeta Parivar, with whose blessings we all are here, and with their blessings, I'm sure we all will be able to steer through this chapter with grace and devotion. Let us begin with this beautiful chapter. How is this chapter placed? What is the significance of this chapter? Is something that always gets the first importance, something that we all should understand before we dive deep into the chapter. How is this chapter placed? This chapter is immediately after Bhakti Yoga. We all know that the 11th chapter, you all have seen previously, the 11th chapter that has been taught by, that has been introduced to us, Vishwarupa Darshan, where Shri Krishna demonstrated his divine form, his cosmic form. And after that, Arjuna was full of gratitude. He was full of devotion. He was completely, he took refuge in Shri Krishna and tried to understand how is a devotee like. When he saw the Vishwarupa Darshan, he also wanted to know who is the favorite devotee of Shri Krishna. And he asked a very beautiful question to Shri Krishna in the 12th chapter. Evam Satata Yuktaye. We all know he is asked, who is your favorite devotee? And one thing that we all should ponder about is that throughout the chapter, Shri Krishna has nowhere mentioned that somebody who is wearing a tilak, somebody who is wearing a particular type of dress, somebody who is doing puja in this time. No, what he has told the characteristics of a devotee. And while elaborating those characteristics, obviously, Shri Krishna has very beautifully, starting from Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam till the last shloka, Yetu Dharmyamritamidam, Shri Krishna has explained everything to Arjuna. And by the time he reached the last shloka, he has told who is his most favorite devotee. And immediately after that, he started telling us about this deep divine knowledge. Now, when we come to this chapter, now that we all are in L4, we all know there are 18 chapters in Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. These are broadly classified into 3 sets. The first set starting from the first chapter till the 6th chapter. They take you through different yoga, and out of that, in that yoga, the karma yoga is the karma yoga, or these 6 chapters are more action oriented, more focusing on karma, and the yoga, heart yoga also. Then starting from the 7th chapter, the beej of bhakti, the beej of devotion, the seed of devotion has been sown. And this there are different beautiful chapters which elaborate the topic of devotion, and we reach a point where the characteristics of devotee are explained in full detail by Shri Krishna by the 12th chapter. Now, what starts from the 13th chapter? So from the 7th till the 12th is the second set of 6 chapters, and then when we start from the 13th chapter till the 18th chapter, all these chapters, this entire chapter set of 6 chapters are more knowledge centric. They focus on dhyan, they focus on knowledge. And how after bhakti, people might wonder, what is it so special about knowledge? What is so special about dhyan? Once Shri Krishna himself has told that if anybody has completely devoted to me, ananya bhakti, if they are worshipping me with full devotion, they will be able to, in some form or the other, they will be able to attain me. They will be able to see my Vishwarupa Darshan. Multiple times this is said. So where is the importance of knowledge lying in this chapter of bhakti? We have to understand this, that bhakti is extremely imperative in Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. Bhakti is extremely important. Devotion is extremely important. Absolutely no doubts about that. But how is this bhakti? How is the bhakti in Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā? The bhakti, Swamiji says, is jnana-dhishthit bhakti. What does that mean? It is enshrined upon knowledge. See, if we assume there is a building, every building has a foundation. The foundation of this building of devotion that is explained in Bhagavad Gita, it is enshrined upon the foundation of this entire devotion is knowledge. Without knowledge, a devotion that comes without any knowledge is what it leads to. Lot of confusion, lot of chaos. And then what happens? I put white tilak, you put red tilak, I am a Vaishnava, I am a Shaif. This distinction starts coming. Lot of chaos starts happening. It results in different sorts of clashes also. So unless the devotion is supported by a strong foundation of knowledge, it can become misleading. And that is the importance of all the chapters that start from that is why Shri Krishna, after explaining bhakti is imperative, it is very important. All the karma kand, everything that we are doing throughout the day, that's very important. Along with it, we have to understand the importance. Now, early morning, you all also must be doing puja at home. Our Laddu Gopal, we all have at our home. When we do the puja, what is the importance of the God? What is the might of the God? We have to understand. Until that might is known to us, it is difficult to have a complete devotion. And that half knowledge is going to keep the entire means of attaining God remain incomplete. And hence, after a certain stage, while you are doing all the sadhana, when we are doing the puja and all other things, we have to focus also on the knowledge, on trying to understand the might of our Lord, of our Shri Krishna. So this chapter, the significance, the importance of this chapter begins from this point, that we have to understand that this chapter, see, till now we have understood the importance of the Sagun Paramatma. What is Sagun Paramatma? The idol, the Krishna Murti whom we see, that is the Sagun Paramatma. And now we will see the Nirgun Tattva. What is behind that idol? What makes it so special? That we'll be able to see in this chapter. The might of the Krishna ji whom we worship, we will come to know in this particular chapter. And that is how this is very significant. So let's begin with the first shloka. Now, when we begin with the first shloka of this chapter, there is always a confusion. There are some scripts, in fact, many scriptures, many books quote a different shlok here. Here we have started in our classes, when you have started learning the 13th chapter, we have started with the shlok, Idam Shariram Kaunteya. However, in different scripts, there are different chapters, and so there is a different shlok where it begins with. There is a shlok which starts with Prakriti. I am not aware of that, but here we don't do. Many people ask this question: why is it skipped in our course? Why is it not present in some books while it is present in some books? Now, the base for all the shlokas that we are learning in Geeta Parivar at Learn Geeta is the scripture that is present in the books that is given by Geeta Press. And Geeta Press and our scripture, everything, our course is all based on the explanation of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā that Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, they have given. And if you see, in several manuscripts, this first stanza is different, but Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya has not given any commentary on this one first stanza that many people talk about, which clearly shows that the original text that was available with him at that time did not contain this stanza. So that is why that stanza he has not included in his summary, or in his notes, in his bhashya on the Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. That is the reason even Geeta Press is not included, and that is good enough of a reason for us also to omit that shloka completely. It starts with Arjuna Vacha, and that was not there in the original text, and hence we are also not taking it. But some people introduced it. Why? Thinking that how come is it that when Shri Krishna is explaining something at the peak of Bhakti Yoga, he has immediately made a turn to Jnana Yoga. And here, recently I read some pravachans by Akhandanandaji Maharaj, and some very beautiful logic that he has given. How does a person speak when you are talking to somebody? And somebody, if two people are having a conversation, if a person who is listening to you, who is talking, continuously keeps talking, you don't get a chance to speak, what will happen? You will stay quiet, isn't it? But if somebody is in a mood to listen, the person in front of you is in a mood to listen, wants to listen, then what will you do? You will keep telling. Some student who is willing to listen, who is completely in an awe and wants to know more, what will you do? You will keep telling him more. That is the state where Arjuna and Shri Krishna are in. When Shri Krishna said the last shlok of the 12th chapter, Yetu Dharmya Amritamidam, when he has told that Shraddha Mat Parava Bhaktastetiva me Priyaha, when he has said this sentence, what are the three things? The person who is with full devotion, who considers me as the supreme, is going to worship me. He is my most favorite devotee. And at this sentence, after listening to the entire Bhakti, what is the feeling of Arjun? Arjun has heard about the greatness of devotion, and to himself, he has promised, he has wanted that I will become God's most beloved devotee. He wants to become God's most beloved devotee, and that is the point where he has fell silent. And here is the point where God feels Arjun has become righteous, and he's become the one who deserves to be given that knowledge. At this point, Shri Krishna has started talking from the 11th chapter, last part, the 12th chapter, after one shloka. So much knowledge Shri Krishna has given, because now he also realizes he is the one worthy of giving all knowledge. And so God is speaking without being asked to speak. And that is a very good explanation of why Shri Krishna continued this greater dive into the topic of knowledge. On that note, let us begin with the first shlok. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetra Bhidhiyate Etadyo Veti Tam Prahu Kshetrajna iti Tadvedaha. here in this first shlok, note in the entire chapter, there are two basic terms that we are going to be, the chapter is around two basic terms, the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And here Shri Krishna is telling about, he's going to introduce these two terms. Before we go into these terms, I want to bring your attention to a very small word, which is a very important word. And if we understand only that concept, half of the 13th chapter we'll have understood. The word is idam. What Shri Krishna is saying, idam sharirang kaunteya. Sharir, when we say body, how many of us, when you are asked, who are you? We'll say, this is me, my name is Shraddha. Whatever is your name, you'll say, Naisha Didi was talking, she's Naisha. But when we are talking, do we ever say my body? No. When we say my body, only in the last, that final exit moment, the name get removed and we say the body. But what Sri Krishna is saying, at the very beginning itself, what he is declaring, he has made one declaration that the sharir is not me, the body is not me. Idam shariram kaunteya. When he is saying idam sharira, what is the word idam used for? Idam is used for anything that can be pointed at. That, okay, this body, anything that can be showed by pointing is idam. Idam sharirang. So anything that is different from me. Idam, whatever specs, if I have to say, these are my specs. So we will use my body, my everything. So everything we use in a connection with me. But Shri Krishna, very first thing that he declares is idam. And idam shariram kaunteya. Why do how do we address ourselves? I am this. We don't think our body as separate, because this is a sanskar we have been given. This is what we have been taught from the childhood. So we are used to saying I. But who is that I? This body is not I. So, and sharir, the word sharir itself should indicate us something. What is the meaning of this word sharir? Shiryate anena iti shariram. Sharira, the definition itself, it means what? Every minute our body is deteriorating. That thing which is deteriorating, it is not me. And then who am I? Here what Shri Krishna is saying, idam sharirang kaunteya kshetra mitya bhidhiyate. There is another word which is saying abhidhiyate. Abhidhiyate means is called. So there is a name that is associated with that body. Abhidhiyate. And what he continues further, etadyo veti tam prahu kshetrajna iti tadvedaha. Etadyo, the one who knows that this is the body. This body is a different thing. This is something that is called as a body. The one who understands that, that is the Kshetrajna. So the body, now, sorry, he first has, there is a distinction of this body, idam sharira, he has said, and what he says, it is called what? Kshetra. It is called as Kshetra. Kshetra means a field. Now, what is a field? We all know a normal field. He has given this very interesting word called field. Now, how is this distinction made? Just a small example, like we are talking through each other through these electronic devices. Now, this is a laptop in itself. The laptop has no chetana. It will not be able to do anything. But the electricity that is flowing through it, which is making it work, is something not visible. Whatever is visible, whatever is seen, this laptop, whatever is visible, that is the Kshetra. And the electricity which is flowing through it is the Kshetrajna. The fan, the lights, everything are operating. What we see is the body of those equipments. We do not see what is running those equipments. Similarly, we are seeing the body that the God has given us. This body, he says, is known as Kshetra. And what is it that is running this Kshetra? What is it that is running this entire body? It is the Kshetrajna that we are not able to see. So this body is known as Kshetra, which literally translates into field, and etadyo veti, the one who knows that, is what? Is the Kshetrajna. Tam Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha prahu. Means this person, this one who knows that this is a body, who can make that distinction is a Kshetrajna. So easy it is to remember how anytime in Sanskrit, if you add the letter Gnya at the end of any word, like Ganit, Ganitagya. Maths, Ganit is maths, Ganitagya is mathematician. Sangeet, Sangeetagya. Sangeet is music. The one who knows music is Sangeetagnya. Similarly, the Kshetra is the field. The one who knows that it is a field is what? Kshetrajna. That way we have to understand. So Shastra Shastrajna, Tattva Tattvajna. That way Kshetra Kshetrajna. So this Kshetrajna is the one who knows. Etad yo veti. That person, the person who knows this as a field, is the Kshetrajna. And further Shri Krishna elaborates that the one whom we are calling as Kshetrajna, that Kshetrajna is an embodiment of God Himself. That Kshetrajna is God Himself. Kshetrajnai chapi maham vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanai yattachjnanam matam mama. Very important shlok. Kshetrajnai chapi maham vidhi. And sarva kshetreshu bharata. This is a very important sentence. Kshetrajna is present as an observer where sarva kshetreshu. Sarva kshetreshu means my kshetra, my body, your everybody's kshetra, your bodies, and every other living creature, a bird, a sparrow, a deer, a elephant, a dog, a lion, anybody. So in all of them. Okay, this is where we have to broaden the limits of our thoughts and understand this shlok, that there are two categories. One is idam sharira. Idam sharira, this, that, which can be pointed, which is distinct from the one who knows it. There are two distinctions. One is an observer and the other is something that can be observed visually. So the Kshetrajna is is present as an observer in all the kshetras, in all the bodies. So what Shri Krishna says, you consider me as that observer. The Kshetrajna in all the beings, in all the kshetra is who? Is me. So the electricity that is flowing through the laptop, through the lights around me, through the fan that's on top of me, is it different everywhere? No. The electricity is same type of electricity is flowing in all equipments in your houses. The electricity is not different, but the fan in my house is different from the fans in your house. I am doing it through a laptop. My laptop will be different from your laptop or from your mobiles, isn't it? So all the equipments are different, but the electricity that is flowing through them is the same. Similarly, all the bodies, sarva kshetreshu, all the bodies are different, but the Kshetrajna, the one who knows that there is, that this is a body, one who has the knowledge of body and the observer as two different, is Kshetrajna. That is the same in all of us. Knowing that I am Kshetrajna and that I reside in all the kshetras, knowing that I am the Kshetrajna, Shri Krishna is saying this, and that I reside in all kshetra, understanding this principle is the real knowledge. Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam. This is the real knowledge. What is knowledge? So we were talking about this, how the seed of knowledge is sown from this particular chapter. And here Shri Krishna has actually defined what is the knowledge. Being able to distinguish between the body and what lies within this body is the real knowledge. And throughout Bhagavad-Gītā, knowledge has been given lot of importance. We have seen bhakti is very important. We have elaborately heard about its importance. And as I told earlier, that knowledge is the foundation of the bhakti that is in the entire Bhagavad-Gītā. So here we have to understand that what is knowledge. Shri Krishna has emphasized here that this is knowledge. Having this distinction is knowledge. And at multiple places, Shri Krishna has emphasized the importance of knowledge in Bhagavad-Gītā. Nahityane na sadrisham pavitramidam vidyate. Nothing is more pious, nothing is more pure than knowledge itself. Everywhere, at multiple places, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, you will see such phrases where knowledge has been emphasized upon. And amongst those knowledge, amongst the all different types of knowledge, what Shri Krishna has told, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, he has given his own vibhuti to Adhyatma Vidya. That is what? Knowledge of the self. Adhyatma means what? Adhyatma is, we broadly define it as spirituality, but it is the knowledge of self that is important. So he has given his own vibhuti to the knowledge. So even amongst all the knowledges, he has told that Adhyatma Vidya is the most supreme. So this knowledge, whatever knowledge, whether it is Adhyatma Vidya or any other type of knowledge, Sri Krishna is saying this is the real knowledge. The knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna is the true knowledge. And then he further explains these two concepts. One, the Kshetra, what is the Kshetra? What is the Kshetrajna? Along with Arjun, we will also try to understand this. See, when we are trying to understand this, Shri Krishna has given us a lot of detail about this Kshetrajna and Kshetra. So as we are trying to understand this, one small thing I'll tell you, why is it important to understand? Again, going back to the previous thing that we had discussed. If suppose today I gift you a small idol of Shri Krishna, and along with the system, brass ka jo idol aata hai, the yellow color idol, suppose I gift it to you and say, okay, this is a memory you can keep. Now everybody has a Laddu Gopal at their home. Everybody has some or the other idol of Shri Krishna. But okay, Didi has given, let me keep it. You tell somebody to pack it for you and you'll keep it. Now, after some time, if I call and say, the idol that I have given you is actually a golden idol. The moment you understand that it is a golden idol, the moment there is a price tag attached with it, the moment you understand what dhatu it is made up of, what is it made up of, all is, oh, gold idol, okay, then you will, keep it more safely, more securely. So we have to understand the value that is associated with the Sagun Paramatma. Similarly, this thing, the entire knowledge that we are seeing, the entire bhakti that we saw, we will now see him attaching more value to it from this further shlokas. Tat kshetranyachya drukcha yat vikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Tat kshetram. So when we started, he told that this body, idam shariram kaunteya kshetram idyapidiyate. So this body that we are seeing is the kshetra. What is this? What is it about that kshetra that we have to know? Shri Krishna himself poses lots of questions and he's going to answer them for Arjun. He asks for, he's telling Arjun to listen carefully to the answers which Shri Krishna is going to give in brief. So he's telling what is it that we are going to see. Now, this one more very important thing here, just to be able to understand this. Suppose Kshetra, we know it literally translates into a field. Suppose you want to buy a field, buy a piece of land. What will you do? When we go to buy a piece of land, what do we see? How big is it? What is the location of that plot? Is it worth investing at that location? What is the color of the mud there? Is water easily available in that land? Isn't it? Who used to own that land before? Are all the titles cleared? So much information we are trying to get before we buy any plot. Shri Krishna is doing the same thing here. For us, he is giving us all the information. The plot by the name of this body is given to us by Shri Krishna. So Shri Krishna is telling, now that I have given you this plot, let me tell you the characteristics of this plot. What are those characteristics? What is that plot? What are its property? What are the changes it undergoes? What are the modifications? Yat vikari yatascha yat. What are its modifications that it undergoes? What are the different causes from where it is originating? Yatascha yat. From where is it originating? Sachayo yat prabhavascha. What are its effect? Who is the knower of all these activities? What is the influence that this body has? So all these questions he's going to answer. And he's saying, Tat samasena me shruno. I am going to tell you in brief. Why in brief? Because this is not the first time that this knowledge is being exposed to you. All our Vedas, Shaddarshanani, everywhere this elaborate information has been given. That is what Sri Krishna is saying. We take out all the old records of the plots which we are planning to buy. Sri Krishna is also taking out the old records of all this knowledge that has been given. What he says, Rishibhir bahudha gitain chandobhir vividhaif prathak Brahmasutra padaishchaiva hetumadbhir vinishchitaihi Rishibhir bahudha gitain. So many Rishi Munis have given. They are the pratyaksha darshis. They are the ones who have actually witnessed everything by the powers of their meditation. They have seen what is a kshetra. They have a good understanding of kshetrajna, and through various scriptures they have given a lot of details about it. They have actually seen the Vedas, and hence they have written down their own experience. Chandobhir vividhaif prathak. They have sung this through various chandas, various hymns. The way our Rishi Munis have analyzed this body, nobody ever has done it. This one thing we should be very proud of. And how is this analysis done? Now we have MRI scans and so many other different things, But still, the analysis that they had done is unmatched. With the MRI scans and CT scans and whatnot, we are trying to analyze this body scientifically. But how our Rishi Munis have done, that is another level of knowledge. The way they have analyzed and explained this body, its structure to the world, that is unmatched. It is not just one level. What we'll do in the CT scan, everything, they scan the skeleton, everything. But for the Rishi Munis, they have not just restricted themselves to the physical layers. It is layer by layer they've gone inside. How is a onion? You must have seen onion or a cabbage, one leaf, then there is another layer, you peel, another layer will come out. Similarly, the structure that we are residing in, it has the outer cover, the Annamaya Kosh, then the Pranamaya Kosh, then the Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, and then at the most inside, the Chetna is residing in the Anandamaya Kosh. All these layers, that far the science so far has not even reached. It has not reached this far. So, but our Rishi Munis so many years back have crossed all these levels, and after crossing these 5 levels, they have reached that ultimate Chetana, and they have written down in their scriptures detail about this Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Rishibhir bahudha gitai chandobhir vividhai prathak. And Brahma Sutra padaishchaya. What are the Brahma Sutras? The Brahma Sutras are written by Maharishi Vedavyas. These are also, they elaborate before studying the Vedas, everything, a person should go through Brahma Sutras, is what Swamiji says. 555 Brahma Sutras have been written to understand, the Vedas, Upanishads logically. So all these scriptures together have already explained all those things which I am going to explain you. Hence, Tat samasena me shruno, he has told in the 3rd shloka. That is why, since all of them have already explained nicely, with complete reasons, with elaborately they have explained all this. So I am also telling you the same things. And what they have explained, Mahabhutanya buddhiravyaktameva cha Indriyani dashaikancha pancachendriya gocharaha. This kshetra, this field that is visible to us, it is made up of what? 5 Mahabhut. We all know earth, fire, Agni, Prithvi, Agni, Vayu, Aap and Akash. These are the names in Sanskrit. Even if we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita using English language, we should be a little bit aware of the Sanskrit words also. So earth, fire, air, water, and sky, these 5 elements. Now, these 5 elements don't exist in individually. They are all mixed up by a process called Panjikaran. We will not go into the details of that. But by mixing all these 5 Mahabhutas, the entire body has been formed. And from these Mahabhut, what has come, the first thing up after that Mahabhut has come, the first thing that has come out is Buddhi and Ahankar. Now, when we say this, the first is the Buddhi, it is intellect, and Ahankar. Now, when we use this word, Ahankar is a very misinterpreted word. Ahankar is also coming as a modification of the Prakriti itself. Now, what is Ahankar? Ahankar is not ego or pride. Here we have to understand Ahankar. The word Ahankar comes from 2 words, Aham and Kru. Aham means I. So the feeling of I-ness is Ahankar. It is not the one which we use in our general language, Ahankari hai. That is the one who has ego, is excessively proud about something. It is not that Ahankar. It is not in the terms of pride. But Ahankar here means what? The oneness, the I-ness. Considering myself as separate from other. So what are the 2 things that came out as a result of the mixture is this one, Sharir came, and then with that the Ahankar and the Buddhi came. Apart from this Ahankar, now Ahankar, if we will not go into too much detail of this, but Ahankar, everything, it is a part of Prakriti. We all know Prakriti is of 3 types. Prakriti has 3 gun, Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun. Based on that, the Ahankar also got 3 types, and out of that Ahankar came Indriya. Indriya is our sense organs. Then our mind, and the subjects of these senses have come. Indriyani dashaikaincha paincha chendriya gocharaha. What does it mean? That out of this Buddhi, then Ahankar, out of Ahankar, what has come? The sense organs. There are the total sense organs have come up, and along with the sense organs. See, there are dashaikaincha, there are 10 sense organs, they have said. You will feel how come 10? 5 are karmendriya, the one which are action oriented. So 5 karmendriya and 5 jnanendriya. They have come up. That is why they are 10 indriya and pancha chendriya gocharaha. Each of the senses have their objects of senses. Like for instance, we are talking to each other. So this my sense organ eye is ear is listening. Your ears are listening to me. So the subject for the ear is what? Shabda, the words, right? So word is a chendriya gocharaha. That is indriya gocharaha. Indriya gochara. Gochara means the object of the senses. What we smell, that smell is the object for our sense organ, which is the capacity to smell. So that object of these senses are gocharaha. All these together, plus what? Ichha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham, sanghataschetana dhritihi, etat kshetram samasena savikaram udharatam. So, along with what is being described in the 5th shlok, plus the elements described in the 6th shlok, together constitute what? Kshetra. So 5th and 6th shlok, Sri Krishna has given the definition of Kshetra. What consists of Kshetra? What consists of this field, he has explained. So apart from what we saw so far, what are the other things that are included in the body in the Kshetra? Ichha, the desire. Dvesh, something, how does it is not necessary that every desire that originates will be fulfilled appropriately. I wanted to be a topper in the class, but I couldn't be. Some best friend of mine became. Immediately what will arise? The feeling of jealousy. That is dvesh. And sukha and dukkha. Sukha and dukkham, whatever actions we do, they will have some pleasant and unpleasant consequences. Whatever that makes us happy, whatever gives us happiness, is sukha, whatever results in displeasure is dukkha. Chetana, the consciousness that is within us. And all these are held together, starting from what? The indriya gocharaha, all our indriya, ichha, dvesh, everything, our chetana, sukha, dukkha, all our emotions, all our actions are held with what? Are held with the something called dhriti. What is dhriti? Simple thing. You all have reached up to level 4. When you started off in level 1, you had determined, I will complete my level 4. I will learn all 18 chapters of this Bhagavad Gita. That is your dhriti. Something that helps you pursue what you want, pursue your thoughts, pursue your actions. That is dhriti. So the firmness with which we stay focused on something, we can keep up with our decisions, is the dhriti. So with that, all these things together form what? Kshetra. Etat kshetrak samasena savikaram udharatam. Savikara means along with modifications. See, all these are not in by itself. Ahankar cannot be on its own. Where there is ichha, where there is desire, there will be dvesh or jealousy. Wherever there is jealousy and dvesh, there will be sukha dukkha. And all these things go hand in hand. They are modifications of each other, right? So from these different modifications, all together, this consists of what? The kshetra. So etat kshetra. This is the kshetra. Now, how is the knowledge? Remember the definition of knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is something that is the difference, having a distinction of kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetrajnayo jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. What that is the real knowledge. So Shri Krishna is now going to elaborate. He has told what is kshetra, and now further he is going to explain about the knowledge, the kshetrajna, having this knowledge. Now, before going to that, we have to understand, like, can you really understand knowledge in totality? Can we understand? If I say this is knowledge, we cannot see knowledge. If I want to say that, okay, this person sitting in front of me is a very knowledgeable person, how will we know this is a knowledgeable person? There is no way to gauge anybody's knowledge. So how do we come to know what is knowledge? For this, we have to go back to the example of our field. When you see a farm, how do we know whether that field is fertile or not fertile? Whether there is enough water in the land or not? How you know? From the way the plants are growing in that field, isn't it? The field has beautiful plants. If it is a green field, lush green fields, lush green grass, we will understand the quality of the field, that it is a nice field, it is a fertile piece of land. Similarly, whether a person is knowledgeable or not, is he put enough to understand anything? The quality of his knowledge will be known from what? From the qualities he demonstrates in his personality. If somebody says, I am a very knowledgeable person, the first thing people will understand is, isko kuch nahi aata hai, isn't it? The one who says with his own mouth, I have so much knowledge, immediately is gone. They are showing their ignorance by saying such things. This is just an example. There are many different things, many different characteristics which can tell whether the person is knowledgeable or not. So to understand what is knowledge, we have to understand to understand a knowledgeable person, we have to understand the characteristics of a knowledgeable person. So from the next shloka, from the 7th shloka onwards, Shri Krishna explains something very important. These are the characteristics of the knowledgeable people. Now, this is like a litmus test. So if you see these qualities in a person, you know this is a knowledgeable person. Now, such litmus tests are at 5 places in Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. We all seekers of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, as students of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, we should be aware of all of them. The first litmus test, set of litmus test, which is in the 2nd chapter, where where Shri Krishna has told what the characteristics of Sthita Prajna people. Sthita Prajna is the one with steady mindset, steadfast people. The mind, those whose mind is steady. Sthita Prajna, that is in the second chapter. Then Shri Krishna has explained the qualities of Bhakta in Bhakti Yoga, the qualities of devotees in the 12th chapter. So that is the second set of litmus tests. The third is here in the 13th chapter. That is the qualities of Jnani, the knowledgeable people. And then the fourth is where in the Gunati, the qualities of Gunati, where in the 14th chapter. And then the qualities of Daivi Sampada, the godly qualities in the 16th chapter. These 5 places that beautiful characteristics are explained. These are the characteristics one should imbibe in themselves to be able to imbibe Bhagavad Gita in this. We all say Gita padhe, padhai, jeevan mein love. How to get it in our lives? By understanding these qualities. And just having an understanding, is it going to help? No. We have to see the character of great people. Suppose today I want to say that such and such brave. So if I'm going to explain bravery to a child, what will I say? As brave as Shivaji Maharaj. Recently, few days back, we had Shivaji Jayanti. On 19th of February, Shivaji Maharaj Jayanti was celebrated. So Shivaji Jayanti was there. If I have to explain bravery to somebody, I will tell what kind of battles Shivaji Maharaj has won. Not a single battle he has ever lost. If I have to tell somebody what is, what is any other characteristics, what is how is an ideal son like? What will we tell? We'll tell about Sri Ram, that he was the ideal son. If we have to tell about ideal brother, how an ideal brother, you will tell how an ideal brother should be, help your brother, don't say bad things, all these qualities, all these things will tell. But then ultimate definition will be where you have to be like Lakshman, be Ram and Lakshman. So to understand anything, first we have to understand the qualities and then see how the character is. That is why it is very essential to read characters, read stories, read life stories of great people, make it a habit to read great scriptures and understand these scriptures in totality. So continuing this, Shri Krishna tells from the 7th shlok, he starts telling us about the characteristics of knowledgeable people. Very beautiful, very interesting characteristics. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamaatmavinigraha. The foremost characteristic, understand, see, there are all different, all characteristics, all the qualities are equally important. But the first one is always the one which we have to prominently remember, and that is amanitvam. What is the meaning of amanitvam? One who is not desirous of special type of honor or respect. A complete absence of pride, a complete absence of superiority complex is amanitvam. Now, why does a superiority arise? Why start feeling myself as superior when I am identifying myself with something? Due to the importance we attach to the material things, we start seeing that we are very important. But the lesser our attachment to the materialistic things. So I have lot of money, I am very rich. Okay, so because I am materialistically attached to the property, we will be we'll seek pride in the possessions. But when we are not very attached to the possession, hai mere paas, but that is good enough to live a happy life. I have a good enough of money, but no need to show it off to others. When we disassociate ourselves with these things, then the lesser importance is given to the material things, lesser is the pride. There is a small story by Rajendra Prasad, in the life of Rajendra Prasad, how even by having great posts in life, we all know Rajendra Prasad ji was the president of India. Now, once a caller, called him and said, I want to talk to Rajendra Prasad ji. He had just winded up his entire office work. And in this odd time, this fellow called and he said, may I know who you are? And the caller told, I am, Falana, president of this party. I have been recommended by such and such person for such and such post. And in that context, I want to talk to Mr. Rajendra Prasad ji, etc. So he gave a detailed biodata about all the posts, all his qualification. And then he said, but who are you? In full humility, Rajendra Prasad ji said, I am Rajendra Prasad. He didn't even use the tag. He could have said, I am the President Rajendra Prasad. No, I am Rajendra Prasad. And such grounded, the knowledgeable people are so grounded, and there is an unsaid fear of the Amani person. The moment he said, immediately samne wale ka ego will be completely vanished. A person of that caliber is saying, calling himself a normal person, then where am I? So this is the biggest quality of a knowledgeable person, amanitvam, being free from all sorts of pride. Then, and how does this come also? I'm very tempted to tell, by the company of saints, in the company of great people. We all Geeta Parivar volunteers recently had a very beautiful opportunity to stay with among the people of Arandi in Swamiji's Janmotsav, seeing how the people there are, in spite of all the might, how the volunteers of Jog Maharaj's academy, all other sanstha are seeing how they are grounded. When we see the satsang, how with so much knowledge, the simplicity with which the Varkaris live their life will completely, detach you from your pride. This beautiful experience most of us had at R&D. So keeping ourselves engaged in satsang, indulging ourselves in such activities is going to keep us how? Amanitva. It will keep us away from pride. The second characteristic is adambhitvam. What is adambhitvam? Not having dambha. What is dambha? Means showing off. So how is this in for instance, some people, how they will do puja, if they are doing puja, mobile tuck 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 in between, what is cooking in the house, everywhere they'll be their attention will be diverted. But the moment they feel that somebody is observing them doing the puja, how they will start doing ram 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 with full devotion. To show off to people, they'll do it with full devotion. This is damba, showing what you are not. That is damba. And a complete absence of this kind of hypocrisy is adambha. So this is adambhitvam. Third one is ahimsa. A complete absence of violence, that is non-violence, is ahimsa. Now here you will see this is a simple one, but ahimsa is one of the features which Jnaneshwar Maharaj gives the maximum explanation on. Because ahimsa is not just physical ahimsa. We all are Gita sadhaks. We are not going on the roads and going to hit anybody. We are not going to hit anybody. Physical violence is not what this ahimsa here means. Ahimsa here is of three types. Manasa, vacha, karmana. Means that karmana, actually going and hitting, we are not going to do. But vacha also we should not do. When you are talking to people, ensuring that the person is not getting hurt by, not physically, but even with your words, a person should not get hurt. That is ahimsa of speech. This we have seen how our speech should be. 17th chapter we all have learned, no? Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitain chayat. So something which is pleasant for everybody. That is that is how our speech should be. Ahimsa should be in your speech also. Now you'll say, I am never hitting anybody. I never say any bad words. So complete ahimsa have I mastered? In your mind, huh? I always sweet talk a person is doing. Oh, you're so nice. You're so good. Hitting is a far-fetched dream. So sweet. But in the mind, how long I have to talk so softly. Oh, this is so annoying. I hate the sight of this, but this is the ahimsa of mind. In the mind also that thing should not come. So that is the ahimsa of mind, manasa. So ahimsa in three forms. Keep reminding yourself. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. All the three types of ahimsa will be there. Then Kshanti means endurance and forgiveness. Kshanti, Kshama. Now, we are simple people. You see a bodybuilder in front of you, and this bodybuilder has taken a lot of loan from you, and you say, I'm forgiving all your loan, because you can't fight with that person. You don't have the capacity to fight with the person. So forgiveness is the only option. That is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is when you have the capacity to take the revenge, but still you choose not to take the revenge. That is forgiveness. And when we forgive, suppose my maid has taken loan from me, some 10,000 rupees. And I say, okay, poor lady, I'll let it go. But then I'll tell 10 other friends, she took loan, but I forgive her. I have let it go. Again, third person, I have let it go. That is not forgiveness. Forgiving and peacefully forgiving without mentioning it to 100 people, endurance and forgiveness together. That is the Kranti. And Arjavam, simplicity, righteousness. How simplicity, how our Swamiji is simplicity. There's the simplicity personified, Swamiji. Simplicity personified, Modi ji. How we should see people around us, learn from them. There are so many stories that come to the mind, but looking at the time, we have to move ahead. So Arjavam is complete absence of crookedness, deceit, complete absence of crookedness, complete absence of deceit, complete absence of envy, and a completely simple character is Arjavam. And Shaucham. Shaucham, no, none of us will be, externally impure. We all maintain our external purity. We want to make up, everything, taking bath, spend everything good. But it's not just external this purity by karma, by our good deeds also we should remain pious. Internally, by doing meditation, by doing tap, keeping clean thoughts, that is shaucha. Internal as well as external purity is the shaucha. What we wear, what we do, what we eat, what we drink, what we think, what we breathe, everything has to be pure. So this is the complete purity. So a body, a pure body, a pure mind. And then sthairya, steadfastness, firmness on the aim. Like that, I don't need to explain level 4 students, because from 1 year you have invested in personality development through Bhagavad-Gītā. So that steadfastness you have shown, this steadfastness should be fixed, fix your aim in life and steadily work towards it. Now, this is about the aim in life, but not just aim of life. Here, when we talk about the Triti, small thing, we have been seeing in the 11th chapter, 12th chapter every year, Mat Parma, how it is, your mind should be focused on Shri Krishna, on the deity whom you want to. Shri Krishna, because Bhagavad Gita we are learning, but whichever deity you like, ultimately they are all the same. The tattva is the same. So when you are focusing on the deity, what happens when there is exam? Hey Bhagwan, mujhe pass kar do. That is there. But then all the time, other time you got a job, everything. When you are in happy times, people tend to forget about the God. Not this kind of devotion. So Dhriti is steadfastness of mind, when every time throughout your mind should be focused on your aim, should be focused on your deity, should be focused on the biggest aim of our life. How is it? Like a mother who has a small baby. She has so much work in the house also. There is a lot of household chores to be completed. And the baby has just slept on the bed. And immediately the mother, what she'll do, she'll start, okay, the baby has slept in that 1 hour nap. Let me quickly finish all my household work. While she's doing all the household work, the mind is always contemplating about the baby which is sleeping on the bed, isn't it? Continuously, the thought is there. Continuously, that thing, kahin utha to nahi? Slightest sound, nobody in the family will be able to hear, but the mother will be able to hear, because she is focused on that. So she's that's thairya is there. She's continuously focused on that. So that's how even our life should be. In the face of difficulties, dangers, obstacles, and everything, our faith, and in times of happiness also, That is the biggest one I should mention. In types of happiness, difficulties, dangers, obstacles, anything, the mind should be focused on the main aim of our life. That is the sthairya. Very beautiful shloka on this in second chapter also. Matara sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha agamapayino nitya tyams titikshasva bharata. How these obstacles and everything are going to come in cycles, but you have to bear them and be focused on what is your ultimate aim of the life. And the last one he says is Atma Vinigraha. The mind and other senses should be under control. So that control definitely is one of the important characteristics. Further, Shri Krishna explains Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankare vacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Indriyartheshu vairagyam, complete absence of attraction and attachment for objects which are enjoyed by all senses. The music chal raha hai, so enjoy. New Year is there, party. No, these are all absence of these, attachment, absence of all these attraction. The subject of our senses should be what? Should be enriching. It should be enriching our personality, enriching our actions. And so, for instance, and once that is done, what happens? Suppose we small thing like small activity like eating. How attached a person gets with eating also, you see. Eating a rasgulla. Even if I have diabetes, a person, the entire attention is in that sweet that a person is deprived of. Small things like, activities like eating, small activities like, purchasing, shopping, they you will see how our level of attachment towards these small activities is also very high. But we have to always remind ourselves that even the greatest of kings could not enjoy these worldly pleasures forever, isn't it? So that is why we should also understand at a very early stage that indriyartheshu vairagyam. We have to realize that how short term all these subjects are. So take your mind from the inappropriate things to the appropriate things. We all want to run behind money, but that is important. It is not that it is not important. Eating is important, shopping is important, learning is important, money is important, but how important, that judgment one should keep. And then next Sri Krishna mentions anahankare vacha. We have seen what is ahankar, the sense of I-ness, the feeling, the pride associated with being me. Abandoning that thought of I is anahankara. We identify ourselves too much with the worldly concepts. So like I am the president, I am the this, I am the that. We all should understand that one day, no matter which director, which president you are, one day two letters are going to get attached to that post. What is that? X, ex-president, X whatever. And gradually that X or late is going to get attached to our names also. So keep that always in our mind that we have to be, that post is, everything is very temporary. It is all short-lived. Then the next one he says is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. So Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. There is pain, or there is a perspective. We all have perception of a little evil, a little difficulty in everything in this process. Our life, a person is born, lives the life, old age, diseases, death, everything. There is a perception of negativity throughout all this, which leads to what? Disinterest in everything. A person becomes sad with small things around them. And what happens with all this? What happens? The wisdom, it starts disappearing. But a person who has the mental strength, they will not fall prey to all this sadness. They will not fall prey to, they will not see negativity in all this. They will be able to see the pain and everything, but because of the influence of the suffering, discrimination, they will discover how to, spread happiness amongst others also. For instance, a small thing, Rajkumar Siddhartha, the prince Siddhartha, when he saw the pain of what of the when Siddhartha saw the pain, he saw a dead body passing by, and what happened? He understood that this is the ultimate thing that is going to happen. So, followed by that, he went for doing penance, and he found the path to liberation. He understood the ultimate aim of this life. So, what we have to do, we have to keep ourselves on a correct path and not get entangled in all this. Understand that these are the phases, all these grief that is a part of our life, all the grief that is coming in our life. In one way, grief helps us stay on the right path also. So we have to understand that all the grief is a part of this life. And sometimes when we are trying to very very happy, or when you are just think about the people who are less privileged than you. A person who is aware that all these sorrows, they can come any time to me, will never get very proud or very egoistic about his own possessions. So one should be completely, they have a complete perception. Their perception should be right in all these situations. Further, Shri Krishna says, Asaktirana bhishvangah putradhara gruhadishu nityai cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. I just realized the time. We'll just complete this one shloka. Asaktirana bhishvangah. Absence of attachment is called asakti. One should not be stuck in anything. And then the flow of the emotions is actually, in a way, it is good. Like we know, asakti means this is my, I have to give it to my son, my property, my this. We are very attached to the materialistic thing. But how it should be, this we have to understand, that the emotions we have for our possessions should not be binding to us. It's very simple thing. If you see water, if water is stagnant at one place, it is going to result in diseases. It has to flow. Similarly, if our emotions are too stagnant on one thing or too stagnant on materialistic thing, they are going to be damaging. They are going to result in what? They are going to result in mental disorders. So we should let the emotions flow. Okay, we should not let it be stuck. And then anabhishvangah putra dara gruha adishu. Anabhishvangah means excess of love for child, wife, home, and similar things. Now, for instance, some people, किसी और का बच्चा है तो it's a different matter, but my own son will be so excessively attached to our own children, or anything for that matter. Excessive attachment towards any of these is going to be disastrous in the long run. So we have to understand the difference between what? Moha, that is delusion or enchantment, and love or devotion. One should have love for the family. That love should always be there. How? See, if you see how Dhritarashtra was, Dhritarashtra's love for his children is understandable, but it was not love. It was delusion. It was complete enchantment. It was moha. So prem hai is understandable, but moha is not. Dhritarashtra, who also loved his Dhritarashtra, has moha. He is completely enchanted, blinded by the love. A person should love, but one should not be blinded in love. That is being anabhishvangah. That we have to understand. So we have ultimately, there should not be any slack in our duties. There should not be anything excess, but we should not, hold ourselves back in any kind of our duties, but excess has to be avoided in every case. Then samachittatvam mishtanishtopapaddishu. When there is a very happy thing, then we are so excessively happy. Sorry. But when something painful happens, understand that both pleasurable and painful things, both the events are going to come in our life without any invitation. Both are going to come in the same quantity. But we have to understand that we have to we have to maintain a complete balance in this. Yoga is the total mental yoga is the act of balancing in all situations. So this is what the balance should be there in case of the pleasurable and painful moments. That is very important. And so just like a day and night, these things are going to happen. So we have to understand. And then further Shri Krishna is describing very beautiful shlokas. We will see these in more detail nicely. These are the characteristics which should be dealt in more depth in a good way. So we will definitely go through the remaining shlokas, which give the characteristics of a knowledgeable person in the next session. With this, I offer this entire discourse at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna and Swamiji himself. Hari Om. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat. And again, I'm sorry about the extra time I took.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi, thank you so much. It was so meaningful and easy to understand. The way you explained with examples, it helped us a lot to understand it better. So now, after having understood the chapter from Shraddha Didi, we will now move on to question and answer session. And those of you who wish to ask questions, please raise your hand and turn on your camera. You will be unmuted one by one.
Ji, Srinivas ji. Jai Shri Krishna, Srinivas ji. Pranam to you.
Namaskar. In the third stanza, first step, Tat Kshetram Yadriksha. Tat Kshetram, it refers to Kshetra, that is known.
Yes.
In the third step, Sachayo Yat Prabhavacha. Sa refers to Kshetrajna, that is what the commentary says. If we are learning through a learned man, he will explain as Sa means Kshetrajna. Supposing if you are learning on our own, how can you come to know Sa refers to Kshetrajna? Am I clear to you, madam?
Yeah. 1 minute. Let me open the shlok. You're at the third shlok. Tat kshetrai yacha yadrakcha yadvikari yataschayat. Here the saha sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena. Yes, so this is all about the kshetra. Here he is telling about he. The he, definitely it means he. What is he? Here it refers to the kshetra.
Sa refers to Kshetrajna, is it not?
Here, sorry, yeah. Here it is the Kshetrajna.
But how can we know?
Okay,
How
I
can know
understand.
it's supposed to?
Tell me one thing. What is the question? What is it that you wish to ask? Tell me.
I want to know when we are doing on ourselves without the guidance of a learned scholar. How can we know Sa refers to Kshetrajna?
How can you are telling me it is a Kshetrajna? So you are already telling me without referring to whatever it is a Kshetrajna. What do you want me to tell you then? You are answering your own question, sir.
Because I have learned from you people, learned people only. That's why I know. Otherwise, if I don't know it, how an innocent first time reading, how he can come to know that Sa refers to Kshetrajna?
They have to read books. They have to read scriptures. They have to read books from Geeta Press, whatever. That is the important thing. So we have to read. How they will know, they'll figure out. Krishna will figure out for them. But this is very Yeah, for others,
Thank
how
you very
they
much,
are.
madam. Thank you.
That way we can
Thank you
ask
very
about
much.
all the chapter shlokas you will ask. That way, how will they understand the real meaning of the shlokas? Everybody has to explore. Somewhere the exploration has to start. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ji,
thank you very much.
thank you. Yeah. Ji, yeah. Bhaiya, Swamindra, unmute yourself.
Am I audible? Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Am I audible?
No. Yeah. Yes. But you are appearing
Okay.
mute.
So actually,
Yeah. Please say something.
actually this Shloka 2, yeah, Shloka 2 I could not follow. Can you just tell me again? This Shloka 2 of this 13th chapter, I couldn't follow properly. So can you just explain a little bit?
Yes,
Second
sure.
charan specifically.
The second shlok is idam kshetram, idam shariram kaunteya. This we have understood. Then the second one says kshetrajnai chapi mau vidhi. The one who understands. So just to go into the detail of this, kshetrajnai chapi mau vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The one who, two terms he has explained in the first shlok, kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra is the one who, kshetra is this body, and kshetrajna is the one who understands that this is a body. To understand this shlok in more detail, I'll tell you. To understand kshetrajna also properly, one is, suppose this is a pen. Now with the pen, it is doing some task. The pen has no knowledge of himself or itself, what it is doing. It has no knowledge. But I am the writer who is controlling the pen. I am the one who knows what this pen has to write. The pen doesn't know. So I am the kshetrajna. The pen is the kshetra. And then this kshetrajna chapi mau vidhi. The one who knows it is who? The God himself. Here when he says Mam, he refers to Shri Krishna. So the kshetrajna within us is actually the Shri Krishna or the Brahma Tattva himself. Gradually, he is going to also explain us the characteristics of the kshetrajna. For now, we saw that the first these two shlokas after this are telling about the kshetra. Then about how we can make ourselves knowledgeable enough to understand kshetrajna. After that, he will also explain us the qualities of the kshetrajna, which is the Brahma Tattva Parampatta Paramatma himself. So here he is saying, the Parampita Paramatma is the kshetrajna, and where he is in all the bodies. Sarva kshetreshu means in all bodies, in all the kshetras. All the kshetra means your kshetra, my kshetra, everywhere. And kshetra, kshetrajna yor jnanam. The knowledge of kshetra and kshetrajna. This, having a distinction of these knowledge, having the knowledge of kshetra and kshetrajna in itself is knowledge. Yat tat jnanam matam mama. That itself is knowledge. In my opinion, the real knowledge is the knowledge of kshetra and the kshetrajna. Is that clear?
Thank you, Didi. I understand. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Didi.
Geeta ji, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I am asking a personal question.
Ji.
I lost my father 4 days back, and he was 93, and I tried to look after him to the best of my abilities. But somehow now I feel I could have done a little more for him. There were some arguments we used to have, and he felt ignored. So, can I recite any shloka that will bring me out of this guilt?
See, you can stand the entire Bhagavad-Gītā. I am very sorry actually to know about your father. And I understand how it feels. The pain I understand. And having done something wrong or, just having that feeling, I completely understand. We all have seen this in some point of the time. But at this point, we have to, the entire Bhagavad-Gītā will help you. Also, Didi, whatever you could do for your father, whatever less you could not do for your father, you can do it to somebody else, to somebody whom you consider as a father, father, father-in-law, his friends, around the society. See, all this karma, when he sees that the out of the emotions what you had for him, out of the guilt what you have now, if some good karma is coming, it will not only make you happy, it is also going to give some satisfaction to your father. Now that, see, and we all, we think we are connected with blood, we are connected with our relations. We are also connected by emotion. We are very strongly connected by the bhav. So the emotion that you have for him now is definitely going to reach him. There are a lot of set of things that we are going to do, Shraddha. There are so many other things that we do, isn't it? Through all that, he is also connecting with you on an emotional basis. The emotion will reach to him. And see, the karma can be cleaned by another good karma. It never gets cleaned up that way, but one good karma will keep you satisfied. So in your vicinity, wherever you find old people, try to reach out to them. Whatever you think you could have done for your father, maybe do it to them. Now he is at a place where he doesn't need that attention from you. He is at a place where, he's at a better place actually. But what you could have done, that karma which you feel missed upon, you can try to fulfill it with some other person who needs it more now. Now your father doesn't need it, but he has made you realize the importance of that karma. You can do it for others around you. You can do it for your spouse, your children, your other elderly people in the family. So that way, and read entire Gita. For me, it's completely impossible to suggest one set of shlokas for this. No, the entire Bhagavad Gita. And how to read Bhagavad Gita with full faith on Sri Krishna. He will take you to the right shlokas without you realizing it. So have complete
Thank
faith
you, Didi.
and go through the entire.
Jai Shri Krishna.
And I wish lot of strength to you, Didi. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Arvind Bhaiya. Jai Shri Krishna.
Didi, it was a wonderful explanation given by you, excluding, of course, shloka number 9. I am unable to understand this Ishta Nishtopapattishu.
Yeah. Shlok number 9 we'll take up again in the next class, because that is the point where I just realized that we are lacking time. The 9th and 10th, we'll start on the 9th shlok again in the next session.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just because you have asked, Ishta Anishta Papattishu, Ishta and Anishta. Ishta Nishto Upapattishu, on attaining, the attaining of the desirable. Ishta is what we want. So what we want and what we don't want, having that balance around everything. So samachittatvam in Ishta Nishto Papattishu means in the event of Upapattishu means in arising, something that arises. So in all situations, your mind should be in balance. So just now, in case of birth or death, the feeling should be there. It is not really possible to have, but samachittatvam. So I get a promotion, I'm excessively happy. But if there's a theft in the family, I'm excessively sad. So that excessiveness of sad should not be there. Samachitta means being in balance in all situations. In which situations? In Ishta and Anishta situations. In the situations of happiness and pain. So there are pleasurable events and there are painful events. Both are going to come in the life. And in both situations, we should be able to have a balance, that is Ishta Anishta.
Right. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Ji Gauri Devi. Please unmute yourselves. I am unable to hear you, Didi. Please unmute.
Are you able to hear me? Namaste. I really enjoyed the session. Every time your sessions are very thought-provoking and sentimental. I just have a question. Before I ask the question, on behalf of the Geeta Parivar, I offer our sincere condolences to the bereaved family of one of our colleagues who voiced her opinion just now. We pray, may the soul of your father rest in peace, ma'am. Our prayers and good wishes are always with you, and I'm sure your father understands your sentiments and he'll bring you some relief. Madam, the question I wanted to ask is, in ahankara, like, can we include self-respect in that? Because when we are talking to someone,
Ahankara is ahankara, means the feeling of myself. In a self-respect is atma samman. Having that is self-respect. Samman is the respect. That cannot be equated with ahankar. Ahankar is, it being mine. Feeling of like this is my pen. That attachment to it. This is my body. Like my eyes. We will not say this eye, this body. That attachment to ourselves is ahankar, but what you are saying is self-respect, that is atma samman. That is a different thing.
Like when people are talking to us or we are talking to someone else, we should be very sensitive and we should see that they are not insulted in any way.
Yes, that is the ahimsa of speech.
Speech.
We heard anutvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitanchayat. Anutvegakara, something that is not hurtful to the person in front of you. That is ahimsa. That is the ahimsa of speech. Okay. That has got not like it doesn't have anything to do with ahankar, but that is a different thing.
Okay. Like ego, or it's not.
It is not ego.
Not ego.
It is not pride. Ahankar is not pride in this context. Ahankar in Hindi, Marathi, when we normally talk, ahankar hai. That is a different thing. In Sanskrit, as I told you, it originates from the word ahankru. That is, aham means doing, you know what? Doing me, like that. That is ahankar.
Self-praise.
Not self-praise. Again, you are mixing the two. Self-praise is a different thing. Mine, considering anything as mine, being very attached to something, that is me pan, जो बोलते हैं ना in Marathi, like मेरा है, this is mine. No, not mine. They're being excessive feeling of, attachment to something. That is ahankar. Mera, mamatva is also another word for it in Hindi. So
thank you, ma'am. And now it's clear.
Okay. Jai Shri Krishna. Ji, Poonam Didi, please unmute. Poonam Didi, you want to say something?
Yes, Didi, I want to say. I want to ask Didi why Arjuna was the favorite of Shri Krishna among the Pandavas. It is very general question, but I want to know.
For that, we have to study Mahabharata, and we have to see how the character of Arjuna is. If you don't want to read the Mahabharata, if you don't have the time, then you go through Bhagavad Gita in more detail and look at the adjectives that Shri Krishna uses. Anagha, a very rarely used adjective for how is his mind? Pure, free of all, this thing, of any manipulations, free of all nothing, there is no malice in his mind. Even in the first chapter, his Vishad is his crying. His crying has become a yoga. If we cry, it will not become yoga. Why? Because we cry for with self pity or for our own grief. His grief was for others. He was more concerned about other people. He was more concerned about his karma. He was having a fear that he might just lose Shri Krishna. He has such severe devotion for Shri Krishna. Throughout Mahabharata, if you see, there are this Swamiji explains in different ways. Throughout Mahabharata, Arjuna never gets angry. Irrespective of what has happened, he has never said even one apashapta to anybody. There are instances where, Bhim has become angry on Yudhishthir and so many other things. But when there was a moment when Swamiji describes that, there was a moment where Bhim got up to, say something to Yudhishthir, and Arjuna is holding, no, he is your elder brother. At no point he has crossed his limit. Nowhere in the entire Mahabharata you'll see that he has crossed any of his limits. Nowhere he perfect balance he has kept. As a student he was adarsh, ideal. As a devotee he is an ideal. As a son he is an ideal. As a brother he is an ideal. As a friend, as a everything ideal, and one with completely pure mind in spite of everything. See, one small incident which all of us are aware of. Shri Krishna was lying, and when Duryodhana and Arjun entered the chamber and asked for asked Arjun and Duryodhana both were there, and Shri Krishna, when he got up, he said, "Tell me what you want." Now Arjun was sitting near the feet of Shri Krishna, and Duryodhana came and sat near the head of Shri Krishna. So he saw Krishna. So he said, Krishna saw Arjun. He said, "Ask me what you want." There are two things. One side, I am going to be Nihatta. I will not pick up any weapons. You want me, or you want my Narayani Sena? Now the Duryodhana is very scared. If he takes Narayani Sena, what will happen to me? But Arjun said, "I don't want your Sena. I want you." See the devotion. They are going for a battle. Their Akshavani Sena, how many? Such a big Sena they have. Almost double. Little less than the double Sena Duryodhana already has. He could have easily said, "Give me the Narayani Sena." What to do with with Sri Krishna? But what a level of devotion! You without your arms, without your Sena, I want only you. आप ही चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. That is the devotion Arjun has. What we want money, we want this, we want that. We want Krishna for getting other things. That is not how Arjun wants. His devotion is different level. That is why he is favorite of Krishna.
Thank you, Didi. धन्यवाद.
जी भैया, विवेकानंद भैया, जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I want to ask, the explanation is very nice, madam. The difficult subject is made simpler. That we are very thankful to you.
It is made simpler because my buddhi is only at that level. I can't understand high level things.
In
Jitna buddhi utna hi
second
rahega.
sloka, in the second sloka, Kshetrajnai chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Here, Sri Krishna is using sarva kshetreshu. Is it restricted to human beings or
No, that's
animals?
what. Animals, everything. Sarva kshetreshu. Even during the Vivechan, I said, means every sparrows, cows, goats, every other animal, sarva kshetra. Each one of them has an atma. That is why very clearly he's saying sarva kshetreshu. It is not restricting to human beings alone. Human beings have the capacity to understand it. The others probably don't have the capacity to understand it, but definitely he refers to all, and in all of them the Atma Tattva is different. That's what I gave an example. Equipments in my home, the lights, fans, everything in my home will be different from the equipments in your home, but the electricity is same. Similarly, in all the bodies, in all the kshetra, whichever animal it is, the bodies are different, the different machinery is there, but the electricity is the same.
Thank you, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Ji, Mohana ji. Jai Shri Krishna Mohanaji.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. It's always a pleasure to listen to you, Didi. Always. Didi, I just wanted to touch on small thing. You were talking about somebody gives you a gold idol of Krishna, right? Can you believe it? Just 3-4 days ago, I went to somebody's house. They had this Guruji, I don't want to tell the name of who has miraculously, these people do those miracles and they bring forth something. I've never seen one, but they gave her a gold, the small baby Krishna, the one you say, Ladu Krishna, the one who's crawling, and she had kept it in her puja room. And she showed us 3 or 4 things like shivling, this and that. So I had never seen in this time. And she's written a Marathi book on all the miracles and all those things and gave me a book also. So that I wanted to say you. And Didi, and scientifically, the lady who just went through the guilt of her father, it's a proven process, Didi. Any grief goes through those stages. The best of wife or mother or sister, when somebody passes away, all of us will have guilt. And the guilt for the first 6 months is very, very difficult to deal.
Yes,
it's not that we are bad. All of us are just human beings, Didi. I've gone through that. So I know I have walked the walk, so I can do the talk, and I'm a doctor too. So the grief has that weight.
That is true. But when you see it externally, I get your point. It is easier said than done.
Yes,
Trust me, we all, I can tell her also that gradually it will go. Everybody knows. But this is probably not the right time to say so.
No, Didi, you have to accept it. Every day you have to get up. Because I did not stop crying for 1 year, driving, walking, everywhere I would stand and cry.
Correct.
I went to suicide and came back. But what I'm saying is, Didi, it will go. 100% it will go.
Yes, definitely. We all pray together for her that it will definitely go. May it go sooner.
No, the one thing, but what you have to do is do what he liked best for you to do. My husband was a Sanskrit scholar, and Baba's Sanskrit scholar hote, and Bhagavad-Gītā was his craze. That time I did not study, Didi. I wanted to do something for him. So what I did, I started studying Sanskrit. I don't do Bhagavad-Gītā for any reason except for him. I know Babala avadnare. Bas, that's all I do. That's my duty. Like that, pick up some quality, your father. You will say, I like this, and we do it. That's all we can do. And surely 100% it will become all right. Dhanyavad, Didi, for a beautiful talk, as usual. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Mohanaji. Mohan Bhaiya, please.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Didi, it's been very educative this year, explanation and all that. A small confusion to me. This in Shlok 1, first Shlok itself, is explaining the Sharira. And the way we understand the Sharira is this Sharira, because he is also explaining that it is young and then old, and then death is also there. So it is the death of this Sharira. Then also is somewhere else, also telling about the Indriyas and all that. So I'll take it as this Sharira, the physical Sharira. And the Kshetrajna, the knower of the Sharira, has to be a doctor, rather than he is telling about some sages and about himself. Of course, God is the ultimate. So I've got nothing else, nothing to say about the God and all that. But then we need to include the doctors and all that, the people who understand about this Kshetra. But we are not doing that. We have conveniently excluded them who are taking care of this Sharira to some extent. So that has been my conclusion.
No, I didn't get you. Here it is a very simple thing that he has tried to explain. He's not talking about any other thing. Kshetra and Kshetrajna. He's telling you he's driving us a little more inwards. See, we have to change our perspective to understand this particular chapter. See, through till now we have learned about different characteristics and all. I don't know if I'm getting your question correctly, but I think you what you mean to say is Kshetra as in body, it has more parameters than what he has described. That is not the purpose of this chapter. The purpose is more to go inwards, within yourself. So he is telling this is the Kshetra. And who are you? See, sometimes we don't know what is within us, what is inside me. We don't know what is in our house. If somebody tells me what is in my house, I will probably, kabhi kuch kharida hoga. I have no memory of the things that, I have bought in the past also. So within our house also, we don't know what is around us. Within our body also, there are so many things that we are completely unaware of. Now, I'm not talking about the physical structure of the body. We are talking about what lies within this physical periphery. What is there? So we are not seeing it from a medical perspective or any just physical perspective, but within us, we are trying to understand our emotions, our buddhi, and inside that, what is it that is driving the entire thing? That driver is actually me. This entire thing, I'm talking to you from this mouth, but the mouth is not having anything to do with it. My buddhi also is not probably capable of answering your question. It is the Kshetrajna which lies within us, which is doing all that. Kshetrajna is directing somewhere that subtle force that we are trying to understand, that electricity which is running behind this equipment. So we are going at a more subtler level. That is what is the first thing about. So he's just taking us one step inside. Abhi bahar ka sab dekh liya. Now come within yourself and let me tell you who you actually are. That is what Sri Krishna is telling.
Yeah, that part is broadly understood. But then he is also explaining about this different stages of the body and all that. We are, getting born, then we are becoming old, and those different phases.
Where are you talking about Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi?
Yes.
No. So what he is telling there, see from the seventh shlok, what has happened. I'll tell you the brief structure of this. First, he has introduced two terms, Kshetra and Kshetrajna, which you have understood. Now, in the second shloka, he is telling that Kshetrajna is me, because inside you, I am the one who is able to distinguish between your body and myself. That Atma Tattva, that is a part of, that is me. Then he is telling that I will tell you this whole thing in totality. But what I am telling you is nothing new. It has been sung by sages also. That is what he is told in the fourth shlok. What he is telling, Rishibhir Bahudha Geeta, there are the Rishi Munis, everybody have already told in different scriptures. That is the fourth. Then the fifth and the sixth thing, what he is told is the structure of our body. That is a different thing. Structure is not just the physical structure, but also the emotional structure, which forms a part of everything. Then from the seventh shlok, what he has described from Amanitvam, then Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, everything from the 7th till 11th, what he is told is actually the characteristics of knowledgeable person. Here he starts telling about what is knowledgeable, how are the knowledgeable people like. Why he is telling, with this we'll again discuss in next chapter, next session. But here I'll tell you why. Unless you have the capacity, it's like, unless one person has a capacity to understand anything, the knowledge can't be imparted. If one has to become a doctor, they have to give the exam of entrance exam, isn't it?
Yeah, knowledge has to be acquired.
Yes. So so that basic foundation has to be there. उसी को समझा सकते हैं. So he is describing a person, qualities of a person who is capable of understanding Kshetrajna. So who is capable of understanding Kshetrajna? The one who has the virtues from the 7th shloka to 11th shloka, that person. So all these are virtues. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, that is a virtue that he is telling in this particular shloka. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. So this entire one sentence is a virtue that he is explaining, that they do not get paid. Yeah, all these are virtues. He has listed down these virtues. Okay, they have got nothing to do with life and death, actual life and death. These are the virtues he is explaining. How is their perspective towards life and death?
Okay.
That is.
Okay. So it's more clear. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. There was one more Bhaiya, but I think he got distant. Okay.
Thank you so much, Didi. It was a very easygoing doubt clearing session, and I really express my heartfelt condolences for Geeta Didi, who's lost her father. I hope she'll be able to come out of her feelings. Thank you so much, Didi. Geeta Parivar is doing so much for this noble cause. I thank Geeta Parivar and every single sadhak for working day and night for fulfilling this virtuous cause. I also appreciate the efforts of volunteers and Geeta Sevis working with this Parivar. May Sanatan Dharma and Krishna Kripa keep flowing. Offering all that we have learned today at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, Subhranshu Bhaiya, a retired PSU employee associated with Geeta Parivar since January 2023, will recite the ending prayer. Bhaiya from Bhuvaneshwar has also served as a technical assistant in Geeta Parivar.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yogesham Sachidanandam Vasudevam Brajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Veeram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Thank you, Didi. We shall meet the next time in the next interpretation session. But before we wind up, let us all give finishing touches to the knowledge we have gained today by reciting Hanuman Chalisa. Jai Shri Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर बल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय.
Thank you so much, Didi, for helping us go forward in this journey of us understanding the Gita. And thank you so much to every sadhak. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you also, Naisha ji.
Thank you, Didi.